Greg Dell has fully and faithfully embodied what it means to draw the circle wide. His generous outpouring of love's gifts and his faith in a just God have made a lasting difference. A life and death difference for so many, including myself.
There's a short bio in the program this evening of Greg Dell's contributions to this ongoing ministry that we have. Greg was the pastor of Broadway United Methodist Church when the Lakeview Coalition of Welcoming Churches was formed. And so he obviously has an important role in the formation of what became Chicago Coalition of Welcoming Churches out of Lakeview Welcoming Churches. And most of all, Greg, I think, offered a story of witness that really speaks to one of our primary goals here at the Coalition of Welcoming Churches, which is to be a witness for inclusion. And he did this by, first of all, defying church orders and saying that, no, I will not deny that this love is valid, and I will speak out, and I will not take a back seat on this. That witness is powerful, and it looks like Tony has affected my life. In about the same time that the coalition was being formed in 1998, the Westboro Baptist Church, led by Reverend Fred Phelps, did a picket of Broadway United Methodist Church. And what the church did was witness their role in the community, and they took it to the streets. They went out, they circled the entire church in a circle of care. And I, having grown up in a fundamentalist evangelical upbringing, was away from the church at this time for several years, and had never darkened the threshold of Broadway United Methodist Church's door. But I was able to participate in that circle of care, and I knew that there was a church out there that was trying to make a way that included people like me. And that witness is the reason why we are here tonight, folks. It is for us to enjoy and worship together, and it is also to be a message to everyone out there who may never darken any of our doors and never be in any of these pews, that there is another way. So we thank you for being here tonight, and we really believe that this gift of Thanksgiving to Greg will hopefully embody drawing the circle wide and being a witness to the world. Kevin Tyndall will now describe the Thanksgiving gift.
Tonight, as we lift up this gift, commissioned by the Coalition of Welcoming Churches and created by Glenn Woods, who is here with us tonight, along with his partner, our gift has been designed, this piece of pottery, has been designed by drawing from the deep well of Greg's creative spiritual leadership. In order to select the 4 inscriptions that are on the sides of each part of this piece of pottery, we spent time as a leadership with the text celebrating life, progressive liturgy that transforms, which is a compilation of Greg's liturgical writing, edited by the Reverend Bernice Thorne of the Broadway United Methodist Church, who's with us and will accept this gift, and published by the church within a church movement. And as we lift up these words tonight, drawn from Greg's life and inspiration, we're grateful for the spiritual center they continue to provide for us all. On the bottom of the piece, we read, shaped by God's very hand, recognizing the force of the distrust loving Creator. Nesting in the next piece is the second voice, one proclaiming, in Christ, belonging to life. And we give thanks to the eternal redeeming work of reconciliation and belonging. The top piece is inscribed with the words, claimed by Spirit's promise. And we rejoice in the peace that passes understanding when we know this to be true. Lastly, in the pouring vessel, draw the circle wide. We are reminded that we can only do this when we draw from the everlasting waters of renewing divine love. Shaped by God's very hand, in Christ, belonging to life, claimed by Spirit's promise, draw the circle wide. This is the Word made flesh in great Dell, and the blessing of his witness among us. The artist has fashioned this piece to express our thanksgiving and to remind us of the lasting circles of influence for which we are grateful. The artist himself submitted this statement. When asked to create something for this special occasion honoring Greg Dell for his service and contributions to the community at large, I struggled with what to make. My first thought was to make a communion set, but this second seemed almost too traditional, too simple, and not very thoughtful. I began to ask, what could I make that would symbolize Greg's place in the community, and make something that would serve him and his wife Jade for many years to come? I thought a set of nesting bowls would characterize how we are all separate but part of a larger creation. We are a community which is made up of layers, each contributing in their own way to a beautiful coexistence. So I thought there are 4 parts to this single piece, each having their own significance. A centerpiece inscribed by the artist on the bottom with draw the circle wide. This is a pouring vessel symbolizing how Greg has poured out his life so that many could be nourished by his teachings and his work for justice. The next layer is a small bowl moving down, carved into a flower, inscribed on the bottom with claimed by Spirit's promise. This bowl for the artist represents Greg's network of friends and family, those who know him well and surround him with their unconditional love and support. The next layer down is the medium-sized bowl carved into a flower, inscribed on the bottom, as I said, with in Christ belonging to life. For the artist, this bowl represents those who know Greg professionally, yet another layer of support, holding up Greg as well as his friends and family, offering their own teaching, guidance, and support throughout Greg's successes as well as his struggles. And the final layer is a larger bowl, also carved into the flower pattern, inscribed on the bottom with shaped by God, God's very hand. This bowl represents the congregations, acquaintances, and the larger community served by Greg's work, as well as the work of those who support Greg. When you put all these items together, the artist says, it is symbolic of how we all come together as God's creation, like the many petals of a beautiful flower. Alone, we are beautiful, but when we come together, we create a more beautiful creation. At the center, in this case, we find Greg Dell as the nucleus through which God's presence has touched so many, helping helping to flower the community, helping the flower of the community to grow larger and more beautiful. We salute the artists on this evening. So on behalf of all the circles of those lives that have been touched by God at work in Greg, you are present among us in spirit. We, the coalition, and we, the people, thank you for fully embodying the gospel. Our hearts are fully with you and with Jade as you face the challenges of these days. And with that, we present the Reverend Vernice Thorne, Assistant Pastor of Broadway United Methodist Church, to accept on behalf of Greg and Jade.
Thank you. It's a great honor to stand before you to receive this great gift for Greg and Jade. I began my ministry at Broadway 12 years ago as a student, and Greg was my supervisor, my mentor, my colleague, and remains a great friend of mine. Like many of you, his ministry has touched me in a lot of ways, has made a huge difference, not only in my professional life, but in my personal life as well. His authentic and inclusive ministry really is a ministry that draws the circle wider and wider to include as many people as possible, because that's how he understands justice. I talked with Greg yesterday to ask him if he had any words that he would like to convey to you. And he said, first of all, he was just honored to receive this great gift. He's grateful and so sorry that he could not be with you this evening. He also said that he hopes his ministry has been seen as one that addressed the intersections of oppression of race, gender, and sexual orientation. So I want to, on a personal note, just take an opportunity to say thank you to Greg and Jade for the many dedicated years of justice ministry. And I want to thank the Chicago Coalition of Welcoming Churches for recognizing his ministry and allowing all of us this evening to celebrate Greg and Jade. And on behalf of Greg and Jade, I accept this gift of recognition and affirmation of his powerful and meaningful ministry. Thank you so much.
Amen.